Welcome to Supercomputing 2023 in Denver. I'm here with Torsten Hoefler and Stefano Schuppli. Torsten, you have got this new role at CSCS of Chief Architect for Machine Learning, besides your position of Professor at ETH. So what does it mean?
So it means that I'm basically helping Stefano, who's leading the machine learning area at CSCS, to succeed in building the world's best machine learning platform and the world's best training platform especially. Because in Switzerland we are going to have one of the most capable infrastructures for machine learning, and the idea is now that we need to use it. And in order to use it, we need to build an architecture. We have a system architecture, like we are going to have a hardware. But the question is now, what is the software architecture on top of this, and how do we support the users in Switzerland and worldwide most effectively in order to do this? So that's my job.
Thank you, Torsten. And now Stefano. So Torsten introduced you shortly. So you are now the responsible for machine learning architect, senior architect at CSCS for machine learning. So what is your role there?
Yeah, my role at CSCS is that of a senior architect, and my area of activity is that of the ML. ML platform is our primary activity, which we are glad to do in tight collaboration with Torsten, of course.
Yeah, but what is a machine learning platform?
Yeah, that's a good question. So one thing is having a innovative infrastructure, and that's just the first part of it. The rest, how the users, how the community, the ML community can exploit this infrastructure, that is where the ML platform comes in. And at CSCS, this is done mainly we have mainly two activities underneath this ML platform. And the first one is building at CSCS, or reinforcing at CSCS rather, the expertise to run ML at scale, because at the end of the day, it's still a HPC center. And of course, it's really exciting to be able to do this alongside with Torsten. But that's one thing. The other part, which is also very important, is in making users productive in using the infrastructure. That has to do with tooling and interfaces. And in this respect, the technologies that CSCS developed over the past years play a really important role. We are able to tailor our services for the specific needs of the ML community.
Thank you, Stefano. Torsten, why machine learning has become the thing to talk about?
Well, in case you've been living in a cave for the last 6 months or so, ChatGPT, right? So the GPT model, which basically was enabled by large-scale supercomputers. If we wouldn't have supercomputers, if we wouldn't have a conference like Supercomputing, or also the ACM sponsoring all of these things, we would not be where we are today. Driven by large-scale companies like NVIDIA and these large supercomputers that trained the initial models, GPT-2, GPT-3, GPT-4, GPT-5, to achieve what we see today. And that's going to be $1 trillion business. And this is why everybody cares. The moment it's $1 trillion business,
Would be too simplistic to say that machine learning is an evolution of HPC, or would it be completely wrong to say that machine learning is an evolution of HPC?
In fact, there are many shared components in machine learning and HPC systems. In fact, today, the systems that we use to train very large-scale machine learning models, like large language models, are pretty much exactly the same as we use for HPC systems. What is the difference? We're using different components that are built into those systems. So in HPC, we are not predominantly using small data types and tensor cores, for example. In machine learning, we are predominantly using small data types and tensor cores. So you could actually see at the roadmap of major vendors that only now these two types of architectures begin to fork into two types of different directions. However, there's still a very similar underlying component that we need to work on, that is HPC. And I believe we as a supercomputing conference, as a supercomputing community, we must embrace large-scale AI, and we are well posed to do so because we run these large systems that we need.
So would it be correct to say that HPC is an enabler of machine learning?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Stefano, this is your first supercomputing, right? So yes. What was your first impression so far?
Of course, it's amazing, it's huge, but it was especially interesting to sit down with people we interact with, we collaborate with every week, every day, throughout the year, to expand the network, not just with individuals, but with vendors, looking at the roadmaps, with other centers, sitting down and working on demos. I think for me it was really worth it. It was pretty much as expected, but I found that I found a lot of momentum behind AI topics. And I wonder if it was the case already in the past years or if there is an acceleration on this.
Well, this Torsten is the right person to answer this. Is there an acceleration, Torsten?
In AI, of course, yes. Completely. In this field is taking off like crazy. And I believe AI will very soon dominate the HPC workloads. So on these machines that we are building, there will most likely be more AI, more cycles being spent on AI than on traditional HPC, which is also good for us because traditional HPC is being extended towards AI. So AI augmented simulations, AI enabled simulations, and all of those things will just come and take advantage of the new revolution that we are seeing in that area.
Thank you very much, Torsten, and thank you very much, Stefano. And I hope to meet you at Supercomputing 24 in Atlanta and see what were the real impact of AI. So in 1 year.
For sure.